Just want to say hi to everyone. Hey kids, how you all doing? Nice to be out here in this awesome outdoor classroom. So good afternoon. We all need a little bit of good news. And today I'm happy to be bringing this good news to the residents of our city. I'm Annapolis Mayor Gavin Buckley, and I'm here with Alderman Dwan Gay, Alderman Fred Paoli, the Housing Authority of the City of Annapolis Director Melissa Maddox Evans, and Dan Toodle from the Veterans Commission. We're announcing a city partnership with Comcast that will bring internet access to up to 800 families in low-income communities of this city. The funding comes from the city's portion of the CARES Act. It will allow any low-income residents to connect, students, families, seniors. This initial round of funding covers 1 year of internet connectivity. The Housing Authority or individual rental management companies will take inquiries and provide residents with a code. From there, the residents order the service from Comcast using the code, and they set up a time for installation. This pandemic has probably been the hardest on low-income residents. They're often balancing how to pay rent, to pay utilities, and put food on the table. I'm a business guy, and I've always been very solution-oriented. Helping with internet connectivity, which is essential to modern living, is a problem that we have to help fix. We sought out good partners in Comcast and Hacker, schools, and the county. I'm very pleased that we can bring this to residents. In talking with Superintendent of Schools, Dr. George Arlotto, I know they have a commitment to helping families bridge the digital divide. They're giving out Chromebooks and hosting digital literacy classes for parents, but students can't use Chromebooks without internet connection. I want to note that sometimes students aren't home every day. Mums and dads work outside the home, and the children might end up with an auntie or another caregiver. So we need to make the internet widely available so that no matter where a student is during the day, and make no mistake, parents are scrambling for childcare solutions. No matter where that student is, they can access their classroom, their homework, and their study group. I'll let Alderman Paoli and Dan talk more about the senior and veterans connections, but we also know that during the pandemic, the face of healthcare has dramatically changed. Access and entry points for many seniors are now online through telehealth or telemedicine. Morris Blum Senior Housing has more than 150 units and just 3 computers. We want people to feel comfortable being able to access their doctors with some level of privacy, and bringing internet connection into their units will be huge. I'm grateful to the Assistant City Manager Lynn Farrow. Let's hear it for Lynn. And our City Attorney Mike Lyles for hammering out the details on the legal aspects. Also to the County Executive Stuart Pittman for being generous with the allocation of CARES Act funding. Of course to Comcast for their partnering with us, and to Dr. Arlotto for helping us with this endeavour for our students. These kinds of endeavours take partnerships and cooperation. I'd now like to hand over to my partner, Alderman Gay. Thank you.
Thank you all. I'll be very brief because Gavin hit most of the points. But I think that this is huge in helping us bridge the tech gap within our city. something that almost immediately from the beginning of the pandemic we noticed was an issue. I think that outside of it providing opportunities and resources for children to connect for their academic success, it also provides resources for adults within the household who need to now connect and learn how to navigate the internet, because everything is now done over the internet and probably will likely be done so throughout the course of this pandemic. To echo Gavin's words, I think, thanking everybody that was a part of this, obviously the county for allocating the CARES funding, to Lynn for, following through with this process. I think from the very beginning when we found out that we were getting the funding, a big issue for me, and that will continue to be until we spend it all, is to make sure that it's put into places that directly affect our most vulnerable citizens. And I think this is a great way to make that happen. So I look forward to a continued partnership and hoping that we can expand it past a year, making sure that this can be something that helps families throughout the course of the pandemic and on forward. So thank everyone for being here, and I look forward to continued partnerships. I'm passing it on to Alderman Paoli. My apologies.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Fred Paoli, and I'm the alderman from Ward 2 here. I think that, as everyone has said, this is a wonderful program we need to take advantage of. It's great for our children, particularly, but it's also great for our senior citizens and our veterans. The telemedicine is something that's really come out on its own during this pandemic, and I think it's the trend of the future. I certainly hope and would encourage our senior citizens to take advantage of this, and our veterans also. Remember, the VA and your doctor are only as far away as your computer, and the use of that computer is going to be absolutely free. This is a wonderful opportunity for everyone. Can you hear me, Morris Blum Center? I certainly hope so, because you folks need to take advantage of this. It's a great opportunity, and stay healthy, one and all. In this situation, I learned a long time ago that sometimes brevity is next to godliness, and I told our city public information officer that I'd be very brief, and I am. The next in line is Melissa Maddox Evans, the head of our Housing Authority. Take it away.
Good afternoon. Today is certainly a great day for us here at HACA. We're very excited. We want to thank the City of Annapolis, Mayor Buckley, Alderman Gay, Alderman Paoli, and all the alderpersons for their support for our agency. We want to thank the city staff, and particularly Lynn Farrow, who has been very diligent in trying to find ways to ensure that our residents are able to obtain the resources, particularly with connectivity and internet access. I want to also acknowledge and thank our Vice Chair, Andre Atkins of the Housing Authority, for being with us in support today, and also, very importantly, our amazing staff here at HACA. We have an amazing resident services staff, management staff, maintenance staff, because they work day in and day out tirelessly to make sure the needs of our residents are met. One of the things that in challenges, as many have faced challenges during this pandemic crisis, is trying to figure out ways to ensure that families are able to have access to the internet and Wi-Fi services. One of the things we decided at the Housing Authority is to ensure that all of our community centers, particularly by the time school opened up, we're able to have Wi-Fi services so that children could be able to come and have a place to study. So we develop homework clubs in our community centers, all with safety precautions in accordance with the guidelines, so that kids could have a space other than the space that is in their particular home to go to get tutoring, to get help, to get assistance with how to connect to the internet, because that's important, and just to be able to have their questions answered. So that's something that we worked hard all summer to ensure that has happened, and we were able to accomplish that. But we also saw that there was additional needs with the individual families, because we take for granted, and most of us take for granted the fact that not everybody has access to the internet. So we were glad when we heard that Comcast, another partner with us in this venture, was willing to assist us in helping us provide internet connectivity to our families. And with the contributions from the city and the county with regards to funding, we were able to make that happen. So I just wanted to bring a perspective that this is something that has been months in the works of trying to figure out ways, ideas to be able to bring connectivity to our families, and we're glad something was able to come to fruition over it. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for their hard work and their diligence and not giving up and trying to find solutions for our families. And so, as Alderman Gay has mentioned, and the mayor and Alderman Paoli, we have many needs of our families with our children needing to access the internet for school, and needs of the elderly to be able to access the internet for their health care. So we're very excited for this moment, and we're glad to be able to go forward with this partnership. And now I'm going to hand it over to Dan Toodle from the Veterans Commission.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be here, and it's so nice for us to be able to represent the veterans here in Annapolis and in the county together. My name is Dan Toodle. I'm a member of the Veterans Affairs Commission for Anne Arundel County, which of course includes the city of Annapolis and all of our communities throughout our entire jurisdiction. I'm also a senior, very obvious. And as a senior and also as a veteran, the pandemic has absolutely changed the way that medical services and other services are delivered to our older folks here in the county. Now, it's a considerable group we're talking about. The VA tells us that here in Anne Arundel County, we have 52,000 veterans resident here in Anne Arundel County. We have the second largest veteran community in the state of Maryland, with only Prince George's County having more veterans than this county. We represent about 13% of the county's total population. The addition of the internet access to places like Robinwood and so on has been very, very important in addressing the services and the health needs of our older folks, and in particular veterans. The Veterans Administration itself has stood up a very strong telehealth and telemedicine connection process, making it not necessary for veterans who previously have had to travel to Baltimore or to the Fort Meade Clinic to receive services. Now it's at home, and now it's in the apartments, and through the services of the city, its partnership with Cox Communications and Comcast and so on. What we have now is ability to access telehealth and teleservices here in the county, and I can tell you personally, I have done that myself. It's very easy, it's very, very easy to get to, and in addition to just health services, there's basic services themselves. What many veterans here in the county don't realize, and military families and their military folks and their families, all who are county residents and eligible for county services, the internet coming in your homes now makes it very accessible to get to the county with the community services and constituent engagement office at the Veteran Services Coordination Center there, the Maryland Veterans Affairs Department, and the VA. So now all those are at your fingertips and at your computer, and available for not just health support, for the various services that we all very much depend on. So thank you very much for asking us to be here today to talk from the veteran standpoint, but also from the senior standpoint. and for this wonderful connection. We just hope it expands into larger and larger circles so that everybody has access to internet, because that's the way things are done today. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Mayor Buckley for any questions that you may have. Thank you.